Hello, a kind of art you can make at home is a slot sculpture. It begins with something that you might have a lot of and turns into something unexpected. So what does it begin with? The material you need is paper, some kind of thicker paper like manila envelope, file folder, cardstock, cardboard, or maybe poster board or something from your pantry. Those are all great thin boards that are perfect for slot sculpture. I'm starting with a yellow piece of cardstock here, and before you build your sculpture, you might want to draw, paint, or otherwise color your flat paper. That's because whatever you want to build this into, it'll be easier if the design is there first on the paper. Once your paper is ready, you can cut it into shapes. Then you'll cut the slots. The slot is one snip in part of the paper that you'll use to connect two pieces together. Slide the two slots over one another until they overlap. You'll need to work with balance and connections to make the sculpture how you like it. Sometimes you might need to make your slots a little bit deeper. This X structure might make a really nice base for the sculpture. You might decide to use geometric shapes. Shapes like squares, triangles, trapezoids. Or you might want to use organic shapes, shapes with no name, or both. With thicker paper, you may want to create your slots a little bit more open. You can use scissors, cut out a second snip right next to your first one so that there's a bit of space. A rule of thumb is that the thicker the paper, the thicker you might want to make your slot. Here we can see that some cardboard from a cereal box is working great for slot sculpture. One cool thing about slot sculpture is that you can take it back apart and kind of play with it more to see if there's a different configuration that you like. You can make a slot sculpture about anything you like. This one is kind of about gems like rubies and amethyst, created with triangles and color. This sculpture I made actually about my childhood. I was thinking of the surfaces that I was so familiar with, the bricks from my home, the linoleum from my kitchen, and the building blocks that I used to play with. You might think about your past, your present, and your future. Or you might think about someone else's life to build your sculpture. Here's an example of what it might look like if you were to use a cardboard tube from your home. You can leave some of it round and circular, or cut some of it flat. With a material like cardboard, you can build even larger sculptures. With thin paper, you might want to go smaller. And one last idea might be to use words and language. Maybe you've pulled some words from a book or a speech or a poem that you really admire. And you can build a slot sculpture from those words. Enjoy the experimentation of a slot sculpture at home.